You are right on time for the proof, powered by Africa Check. Today, we're diving into a highly sensitive and controversial claim that has been circulating on social media. The claim is that Zamfara State government in Nigeria has allocated over 1 billion naira to pay bandit kingpins and media promoters as part of efforts to address insecurity in the state. But how true is this? I am your host, Adebola Adeduba, standing in for Dashin Usman. Stay with us. With me today to unpack the facts surrounding this claim is Mokhtar Balogun, a researcher at Africa Check. Mokhtar, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here, Adebola. Thank you for having me.
Now, this is a very serious claim, especially given the context of the ongoing insecurity crisis in northern Nigeria. Can you walk us through details of the documents being shared on social media and what it alleges?
Yeah, absolutely. The document in question is a screenshot that has been shared on social media widely. It claims to be from the Zamfara State government, and the document is titled Northwestern Governors / UN Organized Security Summit in Katsina. It is dated 30 July 2024, and according to the document, over 1 billion naira is being allocated to bandit kingpins and so-called media promoters, who are, purportedly being paid to report favorably on the government's actions.
That's an alarming accusation, and I imagine this has stirred up a lot of concern on social media, especially among people already worried about the ongoing insecurity in northern Nigeria.
Yes, as you would imagine, it absolutely did. People have been reacting strongly because Zamfara is one of the states in Nigeria affected by banditry. The idea that the government might be paying off bandits and also paying, media promoters to downplay the situation has caused outrage. Significantly, it plays directly into fears, that not enough is being done to combat the insecurity that has plagued the region for years.
Before we get into the veracity of these documents, can you explain the context of the insecurity in Zamfara State and what are the main issues the state is facing, and why would this claim, if true, be so damaging?
Zamfara, along with other northwestern states like Katsina, Kaduna, and Niger, have been grappling with severe insecurity, primarily from armed groups engaged in banditry. These groups are involved in violent activities such as kidnappings, cattle rustling, and attacks on villages. Basically, banditry has become one of the major challenges in northern Nigeria. Thousands of people are being displaced or losing their lives in the process. As a result, the claim that the government will, pay these bandits is particularly damaging, because it would suggest that instead of taking strong action to eliminate the threats, the government is negotiating with or even enabling, the very groups, responsible for the violence. So this could undermine public trust in the government's commitment, to restore peace and stability.
That's quite a sobering context. Let's talk about the document itself. You and your team at Africa Check examined it carefully. What did you find?
Thank you so much for that question, Adebola. Our investigation revealed several red flags that indicate that the document is fake. So, first and foremost, the most obvious issue is that the document does not follow the standard format for official government correspondence. So, typically, letters from high-ranking government officials, like the secretary to the state governor, would have a crest, seal, or even an emblem that represents the office. This particular document lacks any of those formal elements. As a matter of fact, an official letter we came across from the Zamfara State Secretary from 2020 looks quite different from the VARA document in question.
Interesting. So the lack of official formatting was the first sign that something wasn't right. What were the other inconsistencies?
Well, another glaring issue is the number of grammatical errors throughout the document. Official documents, especially ones that deal with sensitive issues like security funding, they are usually written in a professional tone. They also go through several levels of review before being released, for the public. So the document in question is riddled with errors. It is filled with errors, which is highly unusual for something coming from the office of the State Secretary.
Mukhtar, let's take a break here. When we come back, we'll look at more of the red flags that popped up in relation to these documents. Stay with us. This is The Proof, powered by Africa Check. I am Adebola Adeduba, standing in for Dashin Usman. Today, we're looking at a claim that the Zamfara State government in Nigeria is allocating over 1 billion naira to Bandits Kingpins and so-called media promoters who are purportedly being paid to report on government actions. And joining me is Africa Check researcher Mukhtar Balogun. Mukhtar, we were talking about the things that Africa Check noticed about the documents, which raised questions about its veracity. So aside from the formatting and grammatical errors, is there any response from the Zamfara State officials regarding the authenticity of the document?
Yes, there is. Abubakar Nakwada, who is the secretary to the state governor, and the person supposedly behind the document has come out to publicly dispel the document. He called the document fake, misleading, and false during an interview with a Nigerian newspaper. He categorically denied any involvement in signing or authorizing such a document.
So it's clear this document is not real, but given the sensitivity of the circumstances, how damaging can such fake information be, especially in a region already dealing with so much instability? Misinformation
like this can be incredibly harmful. First, it can create panic and fear among the local population, many of whom are already living in fear due to the ongoing violence. So if people believe that their government is colluding, with the very criminals responsible for the hardship, violence they are going through, it could erode trust in the government's ability to protect them. Secondly, it can, embolden bandit groups who might feel if the government is desperate and willing to negotiate, they can also inflict more violence or even an increase in ransom demands for kidnapping, for instance.
That's a serious consequence. So for our viewers who come across such information on social media, what advice do you have for them? How can they avoid falling into the trap of believing or sharing misinformation?
Well, like we always say, the first step is, to verify the source. So if you come across a document or claim that seems outrageous, calm down and don't rush to share it. So check if it's been reported by reputable news outlets or fact-checking organizations like Africa Check. You can also do some basic checks on the document yourself, such as looking for official seals, like we pointed out, checking for grammatical errors, and seeing if the document, if the format matches other non-official documents. And if you are in doubt, don't share. It is better, to seek out information first.
Thank you, Mukhtar, for your insights today. It's crucial that we all stay informed and take time to verify information we come across. Misinformation can be dangerous, especially in a region dealing with complex issues like insecurity. And thank you to our viewers for tuning in to The Proof. If you have comments or claims you want us to fact check, tweet at AfricaCheck_NG. Follow News Central on social media at News Central TV and visit our website at www.newscentral.africa. Stay informed and stay alert. I am Adebola Adeduba. It's bye for now.